internet culture.
There was once a time when attention simply happened. You woke up, you focused on the day ahead. You had conversations that ended when people walked away. You finished reading a book without dozens of notifications competing for your eyes. Your attention belonged mostly to you. Today, that relationship has fundamentally changed. Attention is no longer just a mental process. It has become an economic resource, perhaps the most valuable one on earth. The world's largest companies are no longer competing primarily for money. They're competing for minutes, for seconds, for every glance at a screen, every swipe, every tap, every moment your mind chooses one piece of information over another. This is the attention economy, but hidden inside it is a remarkable paradox. Technology promises to save us time, yet somehow, it leaves us feeling as though we never have enough. We have instant communication, instant entertainment, instant answers, instant shopping, instant navigation, instant news. Everything has become faster. So why does life often feel more mentally exhausting than ever before? The answer may lie not in how much information we consume, but in how often we're asked to switch our attention. The human brain wasn't designed for uninterrupted concentration, nor was it designed for endless distraction. It evolved in environments where attention shifted for meaningful reasons. A sound in the forest, a changing season, a conversation around a fire. Periods of focus were interrupted by genuine events that mattered for survival. Today's interruptions are different. A vibrating phone, a promotional email, a trending hashtag, a breaking news alert, a message that simply says, typing. Every notification whispers the same question. What if this is important? Most aren't, but our brains can't afford to assume that. Psychologists sometimes describe attention as a spotlight. It illuminates one thing while everything else fades into the background. The problem is that modern technology keeps grabbing the spotlight before it has time to settle. Every interruption forces the brain to disengage from one task and orient itself toward another. Even brief distractions leave behind what researchers call attention residue. Part of the mind remains attached to what it was doing before. Imagine trying to read a novel while someone interrupts you every 30 seconds. You'd still understand the words, but you'd struggle to disappear into the story. Your concentration would become fragmented. Your thinking would become shallower. Now imagine that happening not for an hour, but every day, for years. This is the hidden cost of constant connectivity. It's not merely that we're distracted. It's that uninterrupted thought has become increasingly rare, and deep thinking requires uninterrupted time. Great ideas seldom arrive in the middle of a notification storm. Creativity often emerges from sustained attention. Reflection requires silence. Insight requires mental space. Yet silence has become surprisingly scarce. Many people instinctively reach for their phones during moments that once belonged to boredom. Waiting in line, standing in an elevator, riding public transportation, even walking. The smallest gap in stimulation feels like an opportunity to consume more information. But boredom has historically served an important purpose. It allowed the mind to wander, to connect unrelated ideas, to imagine, to daydream, to solve problems without consciously trying. When every idle moment becomes filled with content, something subtle disappears. The brain loses opportunities to think without direction. Ironically, in our pursuit of maximizing productivity, we may be minimizing originality. There's another paradox hiding within constant connectivity. The more connected we become digitally, the more fragmented our attention often becomes socially. Have you ever noticed how common it has become for two people to sit together while each stares at a separate screen? Physical proximity no longer guarantees psychological presence. Bodies share the same room. Attention lives somewhere else. Conversations become punctuated by glances at notifications. Eye contact competes with algorithms. Presence becomes divided. Information itself isn't the problem. Human attention remains limited. No matter how much technology advances, every person still receives only 24 hours each day. Every moment spent consuming one thing is a moment unavailable for something else. This creates what economists call an opportunity cost. Choosing one article means not reading another. Watching one video means not finishing a book. Responding to one notification means interrupting another thought. Attention is always making trade-offs, even when we aren't aware of them. Social media platforms understand this exceptionally well. Their success depends less on producing content than on extending engagement. Infinite scrolling eliminates natural stopping points. Autoplay removes moments of decision. Personalized recommendations anticipate curiosity before it fully forms. The goal isn't simply to attract attention. It's to keep it moving continuously. Because attention generates data. Data improves recommendations. Better recommendations generate more attention. The cycle reinforces itself. The longer we remain connected, the more valuable we become. Artificial intelligence is accelerating this transformation. Recommendation systems now predict our preferences with extraordinary precision. Algorithms identify not only what interests us, but when we're most vulnerable to clicking. They learn our routines, our habits, our emotional rhythms. Sometimes they appear to know what will capture our attention before we consciously do. This changes the nature of choice itself. If every digital environment becomes increasingly personalized, how much of our attention is genuinely self-directed, and how much has quietly become optimized by systems designed to predict behavior? Perhaps the greatest cognitive cost isn't distraction, it's decision fatigue. Every day we choose which messages deserve replies, which headlines deserve reading, which videos deserve watching, which opinions deserve consideration, which alerts deserve urgency. Thousands of tiny decisions accumulate. Individually they seem insignificant. Collectively they exhaust the mind. The brain spends enormous energy filtering information before meaningful thinking can even begin. This constant filtering can produce an unusual psychological state. People often report feeling mentally busy, yet strangely unfulfilled. They've consumed information all day, but retained very little. They've interacted constantly, but felt increasingly isolated. They've been connected to everyone, while struggling to reconnect with themselves. This is the paradox of the attention economy. Unlimited access to information can produce a shortage of meaningful attention. Unlimited communication can reduce genuine conversation. Unlimited entertainment can make sustained enjoyment more difficult. Technology promises abundance. The mind experiences scarcity. None of this means connectivity is inherently harmful. The same networks that distract us also educate us. They connect families separated by oceans. They allow discoveries to spread across the globe in minutes. They give ordinary people extraordinary opportunities to create, learn, and collaborate. The problem isn't connection, it's unconscious connection. Attention itself is neither good nor bad. It is simply directed. The real question becomes, who is directing it? You, or the systems competing for it? Perhaps the most valuable skill of the coming decades won't be coding, or marketing, or even mastering artificial intelligence. It may be the ability to protect one's own attention, to choose deliberately what deserves focus, to resist the constant invitation to react, to reclaim periods of uninterrupted thought. Because attention shapes memory, memory shapes identity, and identity ultimately shapes the life we live. Every notification asks for only a few seconds. Every scroll requests only a few more. Every recommendation promises just one last video. Individually, the cost appears insignificant. Collectively, those moments become years. In the end, the attention economy doesn't merely compete for your time. It competes for your consciousness. And consciousness is where every experience, every relationship, every ambition, every dream, and every version of yourself ultimately exists. The greatest paradox of our hyper-connected age may be this. The more the world demands our attention, the more carefully we must decide where to place it. Because whatever consistently holds your attention, slowly begins to shape your reality.